Hey guys, welcome to the CX show. I'm joined here with my two co-hosts, Dad.
Howdy.
And my brother Alex.
What's going on?
You're probably wondering why we started a podcast. I've been wanting to do one for a while with my dad, and now that Alex has joined us, it's even more of a fit to sort of launch it now. Alex, why don't you tell the audience a bit about us?
Well, Cold Xpress is a family-run transport company. We're based out of Melbourne, Victoria. We specialise in next-day carton distribution. We just opened up a new facility also in Rowville, mainly with cold storage and full 3PL. And yeah, John, Dad, anything you want to add into that?
No, that was almost perfect.
I'll take it.
So that Alex gave a little bit of a glimpse of how we operate, right? But before we go into major detail, how our businesses operate, right? Give the viewers a background story of how it started, but going back from when Nono came over to how you started your business journey here in Australia.
Yeah. Okay, so my dad came over from Sicily in Italy, one of the little islands from Stromboli.
Yeah.
And he came over with one suitcase, owing his passage to the person who brought him over.
Yeah.
And so the guy said, I'll bring you over, I'll pay your passage, and you pay me back over time.
Yeah.
So Dad came in, and the guy put him to work 7 days a week. It was probably 16 to 18 hours a day.
Yeah. So when you say
7 days a week.
When you say own the passage, is that like a sponsorship nowadays?
I wouldn't call it a sponsorship, but let's just say like what I would pay for your plane ticket over here, but you have to pay that back plus interest. That's what it is, yes?
Yeah, good guess, but yeah.
Oh, that's an excellent guess.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. But like, it wasn't. Let's say the cost of the boat coming over was, I don't know, $1,000, but it wouldn't be that much. But let's say it's $1,000. Dad would have to repay like $50,000 or something.
Yeah.
The payback was so much more. And you got to remember, this is someone who's come over not knowing how to speak English, not knowing anything. Just think about that. You've come over into a new country, you don't know the language, you've got one suitcase, and you want to start your life. Because there was no opportunities back in Italy at the time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
there's still not great opportunities there now, anyway.
Yeah, so he's come over and he's worked for the guy, and I think he only got something like 60 cents a week or something. It was something just so ridiculously low, and out of that, he still managed.
What's that?
60 cents?
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, I know you only deal in dollars. Yeah.
No, what's that?
Hundreds,
what would that equivalent to, like today's money?
I don't know. In today's money,
A couple hundred for the week.
yeah, it was. Yeah, it would have been literally a couple $100 a week.
Yeah.
Like, he had put it this way: he was underpaid.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, severely underpaid.
Oh, he's like me.
Are we paying?
Bro, you're overpaid.
Why are you
Are you
paying?
getting paid?
Wait, you
So he was underpaid, and yet he still managed to put money aside.
Yeah.
Even though he was underpaid. Because he just didn't do anything. All he did was work.
Yeah.
So, and then he met Mum, or his wife.
Yeah.
To be, and he said to his boss, can you, I just want to take a couple hours off to go buy a ring for my, for my fiancée, and his boss said no.
Yeah.
He wouldn't give him a couple of hours off, and Dad said, "I've been working for you for X amount of years, and now you won't even give me 2 hours off." And he goes, "No." So Dad said, "No problem. Well, this is my last week basically." And so Dad left, and
What a boss.
yeah, he left, and with what he had saved up, he went and bought his own little shop.
Yeah.
And started in the fruit business. And I guess, just you got to remember where he came from, right? Just having food on the table was a big deal. Yeah. So, imagine waking up and not knowing where your next meal was coming from. You know, that was their life.
Yeah. So that's, you talked a bit about, not coming over. Which is good to hear. That's something we've had before. Obviously, the viewers obviously haven't, right? Very humble beginning. That's transformed into, I'd say a decent empire for our family that you've started. Tell us more about, our business, Cold Xpress.
Well, I guess I adopted the business principles, I guess, from what Dad had.
Yeah.
And just took them and just overlaid it onto transport, and that's basically, give your customer what they want, at the end of the day. That's basically what it was, and when we started, I started out of one of our customers just in his cool room, just working out of his cool room. And then, we got our own little, 40-foot container.
But I thought you started a container first.
Well, no. We started in his
Cool
actual cool room, and then we needed our own little space. So then we got, we were in the cool room.
So your cool room was bigger or smaller than the container?
No. So he had a little cool room that he was using, and when I went in there, it wasn't very big. So I then...
Oh, you got a container as well?
I got a container, and that would have been maybe like
20
a month or so after I started working in his place. And then that 40-foot container, you can only fit, I don't know, I think about...
20 pallets, yeah.
Sorry?
20 pallets?
Yeah, not even.
40 pallets, so.
I think it might have even been a 20-foot container, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, so small.
You couldn't fit much in there, and then we built a little cool room in his factory.
And so, how many trucks did you start with there?
Started with I bought one truck, one van. Sorry, we bought one van, and we had, I think, 4 subbies.
Yeah, okay.
And we were doing basically metro, and we started off just doing metro.
Yeah. And so, now we've got over 100 trucks, ranging from, small vans, a couple, mainly small.
We don't have many small vans anymore.
To semis now, which has been our latest purchases. We've bought a few more prime movers as we gear up to take more, bulk loads around Melbourne, which is good. But, talk a bit about the warehouses. 2017 we were in, I think a 4,000 square metre warehouse.
Warehouse was 3,000 square metres, I think it was, back in Springvale.
Yeah.
And we were literally bursting at the seams.
I remember arguing, like, in the street, you were probably in diapers, but in the street we had, no parking, right? And, there was a customer at Tasman Foods, across from us, right? Henry's a good bloke. He allowed us, he allowed us to park, our night guys, he allowed us to use his car park at the front, right? Because we had no car park on the street, and on our side we had 3 spots, right, in our spot, on our yard. And I remember, we used to just beg. Across the road there was an auto body that went in there, and they would, you could park cars out front of them, but we needed that space to swing in a prime mover, and we only had 1 dock then, right?
We had 1 semi-dock, and we had 4 little docks.
Yeah. If there was cars parked there, you actually couldn't reverse semi in there. We'd have to go ask them and remove it, and they'd carry the shit, blah, blah, blah.
I just remember there was a concrete plant at the end of the street.
Yeah, that's
right.
And
when they had to go in and out, and we had 1 truck on the dock and another truck waiting, we blocked the whole street.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And there was literally punch-ups in the street between drivers.
And it got worse when that bus company moved there.
Yeah,
then we parked up there, and they literally one day they blocked our truck. They parked like this close to this guy. We couldn't get it out because we parked out in front of them. But
so I went in and saw the guy,
and they literally they did it on purpose to teach us a lesson not to park near them, right? So we had all the.
Do you know what happened there? I went in and saw the guy. I went in and I was laughing when I went in.
Yeah, that's Joe Mama. Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, you're laughing?" I said, "Yeah, I thought it was funny." You know, he goes, "Oh, it's not the reaction I thought I'd get." I said, "Why?" I thought it was funny. You blocked our trucking.
Well, it wasn't our truck, so yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I said to him. I said, you know, the thing is, that's not my truck. So he's trying to send me a message. Didn't work because it's not my truck.
Yeah.
You know, he blocked in one of our subbies trucks.
But yeah, but that was a tough time at that site. That's when I started working in the business. But yeah, but it was one semi dock. I still remember there was a female driver from Scott's, right? She came, and even if the car was there, I don't know how she did it, but she was the only person that could back onto that dock. I remember, she jumped in and took some other guys and backed in for him, right? So I don't know, it's just she was terrific behind the wheel there. But yeah,
you sound surprised. Has it got something?
Yeah, what's going on there?
No, I don't. I'm just saying.
Let's dive into
I just
that.
thought,
Let's go
it's just yeah, percentage.
I remember a bit of Springvale. Good vending machine.
That was cute, man.
But yeah, that's right. We were bursting out of the seams there, and then we moved over to Rowville in 2017, and that's probably.
It was funny because there was 3,000 square meters there. We moved here where it was about 7,000 square meters of just fridge, and I thought, we'll close half of it off, but from day one, we took over half, and I thought, I didn't realise exactly how full we were.
Yeah, we were
at
full.
The other side.
We had to hold trucks, until we cleared the floor to then unload them.
Yeah, and that's where we are again today.
Yeah, that's where we are again today. But so we moved into here. For us, it was good because you could spread out. So because we were on top of each other at the other premises, right? It caused a few issues, but when you don't have space, you don't have space, right? You can only work with what you can work with. So we made the transition here. I think that's probably what upped our game a bit. You know what I mean? We purchasing the property that you did here, you've done very well on that as well financially. But by owning our own site, it's allowed us to, we conquer, so we conquered half the site. But that's allowed us to expand because you can only park so many trucks on your land, right? We don't have a truck yard near us. We should now, but we don't, right? So that whatever we've done here, we've sort of just managed but the key to owning your own land, I think that's what set us up for our business to be able to grow. And being here, going from one dock right to 9 docks is a big difference, right?
Yeah, you keep. There's a bit more than 9
We've
docks.
got more than 9 docks.
No, we had one semi dock right at the last place in Springvale. No, we had one semi dock.
That's your brother.
That's your son.
So, being at Springvale, right, when we had, one semi dock and a couple other docks for rigids, right, to a site now where we are, where we have, 9 loading docks, for semis, and we've got, I think, 4 doors for, refrigerated vans, right, is a big change, right? So that's also helped our flow for inbound and outbound.
Everything's relative. Everything's relative because, yes, it's a lot compared to Springvale, but now we're full again. So all of a sudden, those 9 docks aren't enough.
No.
So hence why we've bought the other site. We've got the other site now.
Yeah.
With another 8 docks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
so it's going to help.
Which is our new site, which should be, by the time the viewers are watching this, it should be open by then, right? So the new site that we've been building, some of you may have seen on LinkedIn. So for those that you don't know, we're building a 10,000 pallet storage facility, right? That's what I'm looking for. Next door to our current cross-dock facility in Rowville. So, this is, I think, it's going to put us, small little pin, but it will put us on the map for anyone looking for, chilled and frozen storage in the southeast suburbs of Melbourne. Our 3PL side, the storage side of the business has grown quite a bit over the last, I think 3 to 5 years. We've been speaking to customers, now that they're sort of, getting out of their leases, right? Closing down their warehouses and outsourcing, the whole 3PL to players like ourselves. So I think more people would do that, right? I think that's more of the future. You do what you do best, leave all the distribution to the people that do the distribution. Everyone just focuses on what they focus on, right?
They focus on their core business.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, Alex.
Well, yeah, just touching on core business, what is something that we specialise in the most? What do you think, if you were to give the viewers something that is our main...
We specialise in everything that other companies don't want to do. Basically,
Transport.
That's what it is.
We do all the shit, to be honest. That's right. Everyone wants the cream. We do all the bullshit.
Like shit like what?
Everyone wants like
So
a full load, full pallet. Don't touch it. Just lift it off. Do that. We don't. We go that step further where, you know, if you want one box taken to Mildura, we'll take that one box and deliver it.
You know, for example, like, you know, not many people are going to drive 6-7 hours to go drop off 2 boxes, right, in regional areas, right? That's what separates us against competitors, right? Is our delivery network that we've set up, right? You know, so with with 1,000 odd customers that we have, right? You know, we got ones that, you know, only give us maybe 1 order a week, and we've got some that gives us, you know, thousands of orders a week, right? We have that flexibility. You know, we don't just stick with, you know, the larger ones, mediums. We cater to all sizes. But our specialty is that, you know, last mile direct to store refrigerated transport to regional areas. You know what I mean? We do metro as well.
And that's considered the hard work.
Well, yeah, it is. Regional's hard. There's only so many people that go into regional, right?
Well, you got to remember,
but it's also the frequency that we do go to regional, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people may go to like like Bendigos, Ballarats, Geelongs, 2-3 times a week. You know, we're going there 5-6 days a week, right? So it's the frequency that they have with us, right? In case a customer forgets an order or whatnot, you know, they know that they don't have to wait 2 or 3 days. Like, you know, if it's with us, it's going next day.
So that's our
right?
niche. That's
and
our...
it's also
when we started, if you wanted to get something to say Shepparton or Echuca or Albury, you had to take it on like a Monday and a Thursday into Footscray, where those carriers would come down, they collect the stock and they go off.
Yeah.
Right. So you had like 2 days. If you missed that day, you missed it for the week. Right.
We have that luxury of going the next day.
Well, now
customers have that.
What we do is, you know, you give us stock today and it's in store tomorrow, depending on our schedule. But like Mildura, we go there 5 days a week, where before, you know, people were going there once a week or once a fortnight.
Right.
You know, so
and that was hard at the start. Like, could you have that coverage starting the company? Obviously now, because we've grown, you know, to where we are now, we have that ability to have that coverage. But at the start,
the start, you had to be prepared to lose money.
Right. So would you say you were almost doing things for cost?
No, we were doing things below cost.
For us, the hard work's already done. We already have a service going in those areas, right? Dad's already. The hardest thing is getting there, right? We're sort of there now. It's just add. Right, but at the start, as Dad was saying, it was. I remember when we did the Gippsland run, right? It was in a little van, right, and it was like
two pallet van.
It was like 30 boxes. I remember I used to load it when I was 8, 6. I think I was 18 at that stage. I was loading the trucks at night, or I was working night shift. I loaded it because I remember that run just went on, and it was about 40 boxes. I'm like, there's no way we're making money on this. This is me at 18, like not knowing. Obviously, we weren't, but I'm just thinking, there's no way that and why are we doing this, right? Like. But, our customers, they have customers that are right through Victoria, right? They may have a group.
Right.
So
you might lose money
could
on
be
this
80% in metro, 20% regional. Well, you have to cover
you got to do it all.
The regional.
Yeah.
Right? So, same as like, we're talking about the food work stores, right? When you did the schedule, right, we didn't go to like, Orbost or Malacura, etc., things that are far out, right? But, for us to be a preferred carrier for them, you have to have that reach, right? And we did, and we're only, there's only a few carriers that really go there, right?
I just remembered something else.
Yeah.
Right. Just about do
you want it on air or no?
About barrier to entry, right?
Are we rolling?
You want to explain that?
Let's roll.
Barrier to entry.
Yeah. Do you know what that means?
I can say a few things, but this show might get cancelled. So keep going.
So if you want to start a business into a new area type of thing, what's it going to cost you to get that up and running? All right. So
it's not as simple as just, hey, we go there now.
No. Because if you want to go to all the areas, then you've got to send out trucks that are like 3/4 empty or 90% empty, right? So it's by the time you get them to a break-even point,
you'd have to have some capital to...
Yeah.
I mean, I get that.
So barrier to entry to do what we do is millions now.
Yeah, right? We spoke about so. Because I asked him if you were to start now, could you do it? And you said no.
Well, no, I'd
It's too
find a
hard
way,
to
but it'd be hard for it. If there was a Cold Express already running
Yeah.
and I wanted to start, it'd be very, very hard to come up against them, only because they're already going there. They're making profits, and for me to, why would someone want to take a chance on me if you've got a company that's already doing a really good service?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just, it's getting to
You guys hear
that
that?
stage.
Don't even think about it.
No, I mean,
Bring it on, bring it on.
I mean, we did have someone.
We did. We had so as we were growing, and we sort of like started to, I don't know if you could say dominate the regional. Well,
But we just took more of the market share.
yeah, we had a really big market share in our space. There was like the next, I'd say 4 or 5 companies, our competitors, they kind of like banded together, and we're going to pool all their resources together to combat us, right?
Yeah.
And they decided against it because after putting in all their volume and work that they thought they might get, and some of it take off us, they were still gonna lose. I think it was 1.4 or 1.6 mil for the year.
Yeah, and this is 8 years ago, so it'd be
Yeah.
more now.
More.
Oh yeah,
I mean, look how much it cost them.
and
But we just bought, a
in
few
the-
prime movers that cost us over $1 million.
yeah.
So
and,
they
and,
didn't-
and over the last 8 years, our service has gotten even better.
Yeah,
You know,
and our reach.
So they had to sort of retreat purely because
well, they couldn't do it.
That was
We did such a big
that
area.
was, and back then that was like most of the areas was only 3 days a week. Now we're 5 days a week. It's
Yeah.
harder to.
so our coverage
So-
is even bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah, because we
So-
we
so
had
it's
our
true.
schedule.
Our coverage
It's true.
is bigger.
What's true?
Size does matter. That's what I'm saying. That's what we're all thinking. It.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's a straight fact.
It's not bragging if it's true, but anyway. So
Not bragging, but it is dragging.
Where do you come up with this shit?
It's on the fly. It's on the fly.
I'd like to be in
It's in
some
the
of your
genes.
chats, man. Like
Man,
I'd
you do not
like
wanna
to
be-
be in some of your chats.
it's in the genes.
Keep you up at night. All the adversity you've overcome through the journey, what's like something you've taken away? What value have you kept yourself carried across all struggles? Like, how do you keep so level-headed?
Mum.
Yeah,
Mum, yeah. I guess, I started training martial arts when I was 16. And believe it or not, that I think I got a lot of frustrations and everything out through training. Because, I
That
ended
poor
up
bag
doing it
carrier.
for 40 years. I did, we did it for 40 years. But I think, I think that had something to do with it. And you mentioned something to me the other day. I said, what's the point of going to the gym? And you said,
Context. Context.
do you still go to the gym?
Don't make me get the bench out of here, guys. Don't make me get the bench. Actually, swing the camera on this big man. I still go to gym, Jack?
Huh?
Do I still go to gym?
I don't know, dude.
Don't make me pull the videos up.
I definitely don't. I used to. Definitely don't.
I see a lot of videos of you in the gym. Why do you need to video yourself in the gym?
What do you mean? You take
What do you mean
progress
videos?
updates.
Yeah, he's progression videos.
You never know because you
Sorry.
probably never progressed.
He's never got to that because you do the 7-day free trial. Yeah. It's got to be, that's like an 8-day thing. You don't get it.
Yeah, that's right.
I do it up until the top point you got to pay.
Yeah. But,
Speaking of big, right? We talked about, for us expanding into other states, right? Obviously we need to get this site up and running first, But do you have any other goals, right? Or what sort of kept you in the hot seat, right? As CEO,
Debt.
right?
I think it's called
I
debt.
know that, but
I think he's
we've
looking
talked
at him.
you've talked about it. I remember a couple of years ago, you're like, no, I'm nowhere near retiring. But now, you're like, okay, I'm sort of going.
A few
towards
years
it.
ago, I was nowhere near.
What's changed in the last couple of years? Though? We've grown, so what's, I know you got a few years older, but you're still a young pup, right? Considering.
Still learn how to piss.
Yeah. A few years ago, yes, I wasn't ready to retire. But then I think last year I I'm pretty sure I said I'm going to step back. I was going to come in once a week and once a month or something.
And so what changed?
We bought 800 Wellington Road.
Yeah. So
debt keeps you motivated. Let me tell you.
Right. Okay. And so after, once this site's up and running, right, where do you see yourself steering the ship? Or are you looking at the dock and then get out and then...
Yeah, I think once this is up and running and everything and, you stop spending money, then...
Right, you got to spend money to make money. Far out. How many times have I got to say it?
Oh, that old chestnut, yeah. I think, well, don't they say that people live to about 75 or something? So I've only got
I didn't
what TikToks you watch?
Yeah.
If it's on TikTok, it's got to be true, yeah?
Yeah, no, it's a fact. No, I read that.
That's true.
Every time I say I read something, it's just I've seen a TikTok. I read something once. I've definitely seen it.
Look, I think it's time to maybe take a step back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, I feel like that now because we are so busy at the moment. I'm swamped at the moment. I can't. I find it hard to actually get through my emails every day. Right, so I don't get through them, and then I'll, tomorrow or the next day I'll come in and I'll try and go through the ones I didn't read yesterday or didn't get to action, and then I've got so much more, and I'll try and get through them. I get up off the desk for an hour, come back, and there's like 20 more emails. I'm thinking,
that it?
It's light work.
Bro, that it?
So
you're not refreshing the page?
Once this is up and running...
Well, that's probably subscription emails, bro.
Once
it's up and running, yeah.
Once all this is off my head and I feel bored, I might change my mind, but
yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, okay.
Maybe get some automation by then. Actually, what's happening with that? I mean, obviously, there has to be some form of human.
We went down the path of automation a few years back, and it didn't work. So I now know what not to do really well.
Do you think it can work for what we do,
yes.
the sort of business we have?
That's what I'm working on right now. I'm speaking to a few people.
Yeah, no.
I think for us, like,
well, we still got it. We still own it.
Yeah.
And it's good because the company we bought it off, they haven't wiped their hands.
No, I understand.
So they're still willing to work with us.
I just think
we just need room.
It's the wrong system for us. Our belt works for what we do, but I've spoken about it.
But we can utilise it. We can still utilise it for parts of our business. I believe we can.
Yes or no?
For those who don't know what they're talking about, we had a belt in our old warehouse now, which essentially stock would come in.
It's not in our warehouse now.
It was past tense.
Yeah, okay.
It was in our warehouse. And stock would get scanned in, and then it would go down chutes into allocated zones. And it just didn't really.
It's conveyor belt.
It was designed. It was designed.
It just wasn't. It just wasn't the right design for us. So I know what we want. I've been to a few warehouses, right? And our business model suits. People use different terminology, but like a cyclone system, right? So you boxes come in. They basically get stored in a location in racking, right, or in shelves, right? And then you would press a button, for a delivery run, and then it shoots it all out for you in sequence, right? And then you basically put it onto a pallet, right? So you don't need the much floor space, right? We're utilizing the air because right now in our warehouse we just use the floor, right? We're not utilizing the air. Right. And that would allow us to be able to grow because right now we can't really grow anymore.
Of course we can.
Not in the current warehouse we have now. We
can't.
No,
you can.
Yeah, we can't. I was here last night. I left at 1 o'clock. We literally, it was the same as Springvale. We had 6 semis left off. We couldn't unload them, right? Because we've got to move the stock in the warehouse. There's only so much you can put through.
Okay. But remember where we are across the road, we've got 2 freezers over there. We'll shut one down. When this opens up here, we'll shut one down, give us more room over there. We've got 1 or 2 people that are utilising space in there. We'll bring them over here as well, free up more space. So you do have
enough room.
You do have the opportunity to grow more.
You're buying time.
But you can still grow.
Dad, you said you're thinking of, maybe taking a step back, before you do that, are there any things that you want to teach me and Jack? Like, what are some key lessons you want us to learn before that?
Basically, a lot of people underestimate finances, and you can do a job for someone, but that job's not finished until you actually get paid for it. So a lot of people, they have good businesses, good companies, but they don't put enough resources into collecting their money. So all of a sudden you get a cash flow issue, and then, you start to fall behind, and then it's, they end up going under.
So be on top of your finances.
And people, there are companies that we deal with, they can go under, and all of a sudden you're left with a debt. How do you recover that? You've already paid for your services. You've already paid for the work you've done for them. And then you lose that. It just comes straight off your bottom line.
So does that come down to systems in place?
You just got to be on top of, your finances, and make sure that, to me, in a lot of industries, and whether it's retail, in my opinion, people give people way too much credit. And what I mean by that is, just yesterday I was talking to someone who would give their customers 90 days to pay.
That's crazy.
Right? 90 days. So for 90 days, you have to fund all the work that they've done. Right? Now, if you're an established business and you're working on surpluses, great. But if you're starting out, how do you give someone 90 days?
Yeah.
And what happens if they go under? You've just lost 90 days, of that money. So, for us, we're pretty strict, And I learnt this the hard way because, when we first started out, people said, no, we want, 30 days end of month, which is really 60 days. And, because we were afraid that if we said no, they wouldn't come over to us or they'd leave us. We took it on, and we actually had a lot of bad debts. And it got to a point a few years back, we said, no, we're 7 to 14 days, there's got to be an exception to get to 21 days, but no, we if you can't manage your business and pay us within that time frame, then we're not going to be a good fit for you.
So in a perfect reality, how would you have it set up? How would you obviously instant payments, great, but realistically,
okay, look, if you can pay within 7 to 14 days, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you cash flow. You want.
No, I understand you.
And the argument people are going to say is, oh yeah, but I got to sell the stock. Yeah, but when their customers go into a store, I'm pretty sure that they pay them.
Yeah,
the customers pay them on the spot, so they've got that money. So why can you not pay me within 7 or 14 days? So if you can't pay in that sort of time frame, then you're a bit of a rocky business. Why? I'm not a bank. We're not bankers, but yet we're funding your business.
Quite a lot of business, unfortunately.
We're funding.
Yeah.
And everyone goes through hard times.
Yeah.
And we've had occasions where a number of our customers have said, look, we're not traveling very well, and we work with them, and we will extend credit to them because they're up front, and we say we'll work through, and they quite often say, if it wasn't for you guys, we would have gone under, and we never would have recovered. Now, to me, to help someone who's about to fall over, and then come through and then pick up and start booming again, that's good.
Do you find the relationships with those customers always come out stronger based off that trust, based off that loyalty, would you say?
Well, because we helped them out.
Because you helped them out, yeah.
9 out of 10. It hasn't always worked in my favour. But at least I know I'm going into it with my eyes open. Yeah. The worst thing is when people lie to you. We had one guy, it was he owed us $877, right? And he was only spending maybe $50 or $60 a week.
See, I wouldn't have done this, but I know you do stuff like that.
Yeah, but it fell through the cracks. If I don't know why, and it got to $877, and we said, you need to bring your account up back into terms, and he said, yep, and I'll pay by the end of the week. He didn't pay, and then I rang him up and said, mate, you didn't pay. He goes, no, I said, you need to bring your account up to date. And he said, yeah, I've got a delivery coming. Can you please deliver it? I said, yeah, but I need a check. I need payment. So he goes, no problem. I'll give you a check. I'll bring you a check tonight. When I bring the goods, can you deliver it? I said, no problem. So, he bought that stock over. He bought the check, $877. No problem. So we banked it. We were doing his deliveries for the rest of that week. Everything's good. And then the check bounced. All right. So I ring him up and say, mate, the check you gave me bounced. And plus, the name of your company doesn't match the check. He goes, oh, yeah, that's the parent company. Maybe you need to talk to them. I said, okay. Who's the director of the parent company? He goes, I am. I said, okay, so I got to talk to you, do I? I need to get my money. And he said, oh, look, I've got to go. And he hung up on me. I went to call him back. He's blocked me, right?
That's a Sanchez.
So I got Mum's phone and I rang him up, right? And he answered the phone. And I said, oh, look, I think there's something wrong with my phone. You need to pay us the money you owe. And he said, who are you after? I said, I can't remember. I think his name was Chris or something. I said, Chris. He goes, oh, that's my brother. I said, mate, I know it's you. You got the same voice. Come on. It's not your brother. And he hangs up on me.
Rule number 1, get the house address. No.
So I said, you know what? This guy's pissed me off, right? He's lied. So we went legal on him, right?
But he would have spent more money than
Anyway, you send a letter, Anyway, this guy obviously has done it before, right? So we had the solicitor go and serve him, and he's basically gets the papers, and in front of the guy, he's just ripping them up and just throwing them on the ground, right? And I think if your debt is under 3,000, there's really nothing you can do. Or back then, couldn't do anything, right? So I thought, this. I said to the solicitor, how much have you spent now? How much have we spent on you? And it was like $4,000. I said, great. His debt's now over $3,000 to us. Yeah. So let's file against his company. So we did. We actually closed the company, right? We actually closed the company, and then I said, right, we've closed his company. Now let's go after him, all right, personally. And then he came back, and by now the debt's about $5,000 or $6,000, and we said, he said, oh, look, I'm going to pay you back bit by bit. I said, no. Pick a time. I don't want you to give me bits and pieces. I'll give you 3 months to pay,
That's generous.
And I want you to, and on that day, because he said, I'll pay you within 3 months. I'll drip feed you. I said, no, I don't want that. In 3 months, just pay me the whole thing, right? So after 3 months, he goes, oh, I can't do it now. I'll just give you, $300 a week or something. And I said, no, I want the lot or nothing. And then he wrote back saying, don't you understand, if you don't take this, you get nothing? I said, I'm happy to take nothing. I'd written the money off. I said, no. So in the end, to chase $877 cost me $15,000 to do that. But
I'll be honest, Dad, I don't want to listen to that lesson. I don't want to learn from. I'm not spending $15,000 to lose.
But then you didn't learn the lesson.
What was the lesson? The principle of what?
No. Well,
Principle.
Look, principles can be costly, but you know,
No, but he's making a point because he's probably done this to other people.
100%.
Right, and gotten away with it.
Yep, 100%.
And little JD over here.
You just let him get away with it again.
He wasn't let that far.
No, I didn't. He went bankrupt.
He went bankrupt.
So I know for the next few years he's not doing it to anyone.
Shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't say you went back.
Where? Yeah, I bankrupted.
He did.
15 grand. Anyway, so and there have been cases where
Wake up, bro.
people have owed me a lot more.
Yeah.
And we sort of like worked it out because they were honest with me.
Yeah.
They said, this is where we are. You know, what do we do?
It happens in business. You know, in some stages you're booming, some stages you're struggling, right?
Yep.
I've seen you.
We've been up, we've been down, we've been up. We went through a roller coaster for, I think it was the first 15 years of business.
I noticed things, since 2015 started to get a little bit better. You know?
But because then we started to, break even on more runs.
And I was in there for a little bit, so I think maybe it's a coincidence that I was there for a couple of years, so fixed a few things, and here we are.
Yeah, let's stick to the coincidence.
Any other lessons? Anything else? Any values you want us to bring?
Not for us.
You've really got
even for the next generation. Anything
you need to look after your customers at the end of the day, because if you're it's cliche, if you don't look after your customers, someone else will. So I'm someone who just hates saying no to a customer. We'll put things in place, and then something happens. Look, transport is transport. Things always happen. They go askew. Trucks break down. Customers. Equipment breaks down. They can't get it to us on time. They don't fit within our guidelines. But, someone will say no, and then, the customer will ring me up and say, listen, I know, I've gone outside what we agreed to, but I really need you to do A, B, C. So I say, look, let me ring up, So I'll ring up one of the managers and say, look, he goes, so-and-so just rang you, didn't he?
Yeah.
I said,
and I think that's why, our growth's being the way it is because we're flexible. We're a family business, right? And we deal with a lot of family businesses, right? And that's something that we're pretty passionate about. But we're flexible, and that's what's allowed you to grow. But I know when, for us now, especially this year, we've had a pretty good year, right? Year on year, we're going about 20%, which is fantastic. But, this year, we've had to put, more guidelines in and be a bit more firm with the customers. Because you get to a stage, right, where you have to do that to give a better service. Like for us, we this year we were pretty more firm on manifest cutoff times, right? Before that, people could send it late, and then our dispatch team, would be under the hammer, trying to get everything ready, for the night, right? And we could see the delays that had. Now by bringing it forward, right, when it comes to Christmas, comes to these things, right, it's so much better. Yes, it still pushes out, right? We're a bit flexible, right? But it's actually it's worked better for us because we had those guidelines, right? Look, there's still flexibility, but you have to be firm in order to then give a better service to customers because it's not fair for certain customers of us, that if they run late, etc., then it affects all our customers because they're on the same runs. That's the issue that we have, right? It affects each people affect each other, right?
Yep. Yep. And look, the last, maybe 5 years, it's harder and harder in business because there are so many more taxes put on us, and just the cost of compliance. Where to me, I just still like common sense, but we've had to do certain things and put certain barriers in place, because that's what's required now. But I'm thinking, you don't really need that. In my mind, you don't need that because, it's just. But anyway, you got to comply. Yeah. And it costs so much money.
It's a big thing. I mean, I think over the last 5 years, we've spent over $500,000 on compliance.
Oh,
probably
well over. Well over.
With the fatigue cameras that we have in the trucks, with the things for I mean, safety and compliance is a big thing, right? So, but it's one of the things you have to do.
Yeah. And look, the
Like
compliance.
we redid our docks, right? You know, we've put up more bollards, right, to make our yard a bit more safer. You know.
Yeah. The compliance where it's driver safety, I'm all in for that.
Yeah.
You know, because I remember having a chat with one of our subbies who didn't want to put in the new system that we got, and he goes, "Oh, it's too costly." I said, "You know what part of this potentially life-saving system do you think is too dear?"
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's there to save the life of drivers.
That's right. Yeah, and other road users.
Yeah. And he's just looking at me. I said, "Well, tell me."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And he couldn't answer.
It's
And the funny thing is
picture.
that contractor, I think the following week, one of his drivers had a fatigue incident in the truck where he was falling asleep, and you could see his truck was veering off the road.
Yeah.
And, you know, what we put in woke him up, woke the driver, and you see him, his seat rattled and alarms were going off in the cabin, and you can see him wake up and he comes back.
Yeah.
Now, you know, that sort of thing.
It'd be interesting. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the data of, you know, of when these systems went live in our industry. I mean, look, you know, it's not compulsory, right? It is becoming more, right, industry standard of having.
Yeah, it should be compulsory.
Especially from
it should be compulsory in every single vehicle.
I've seen it now. It's even in some cars. Like I was in a Subaru the other day, and they had it already.
You're slumming it?
No. What do you mean slumming it?
Sorry.
Subaru. No. I was in a mate's car, Subaru, and they had it. It's like
my friend.
If he goes on his phone, it beeps and stuff, tells him, Like
my friend's mum's car, I've been in it a few times. It vibrates and it shakes you up if you go on your phone.
Hang on, we're still talking about
Wait,
cars.
is the car on?
Back seat was no.
Bro, what is this channel? For potential clients out there, right? Why should they come to us? What separates us, you know, against anyone else, right? And yeah, why would they choose that, right? There's plenty of other refrigerated transport companies, right? There's some that do last mile like us, right? But like, why would they come to us?
I think because we actually care about people, you know, and their businesses, you know. Transport, you know, people say transport, but it's not. It's, you know, we care about what's behind it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I don't like patting myself on the back.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the type of person to say, "Oh, you know, we're the best," even though we are, right? We take all the headaches away from people.
Yeah.
You know, give us your stock, we'll get a store. You know, once you give us your stock to deliver, you then no longer have to worry about anything. We'll deliver it. And, you know, we always aim to do what we say. And that's a big thing, right? You know, if we say we're going to get it there the next day, we get it there the next day. You know?
Yeah, unless it's Christmas, guys, and but generally, if we advertise, you know, we do, and look, things happen in transport. You know, like we do our best to get it there when it's supposed to get there, but sometimes things happen, right?
Yeah.
And you just
and look,
you know,
the biggie
but for us is we don't wait. If we go, say we go there twice a week, we don't wait. We will send it the next day, right?
A lot of companies, if the truck's not full, they don't send it.
Yeah.
So you could be 2-3 days
I mean,
down
what separates us is, you know, is our systems, right, and our people and our processes, right, and our delivery network. There's quite a bit. I mean, we have our own, you know, transport management system, warehouse management system, right? That's a big part, right? You know, a lot of our competitors, right, they don't own their own software, right? We do. We can control it. We can build things. We can adjust things, right? That's given us an advantage edge, right? So just that there, right? So if a customer has something, you know, however they're working, right, we can tailor a solution that works with them. They don't have to, you know, they don't have to do it our way, right? We can work with them, right? So there's that. You know, a delivery network is probably our strongest point, right? And then, you know, is our communication. Right, you know, I'd say our communication, you know, is definitely up there in our industry, right? Because of the care factor, right? Because, you know, we really care about our customer's customer, because that's where you come from.
Yeah.
Right. And
100%.
so for us, that was the biggest thing. I remember we starting out, you and Mum were teaching the team is, you need to look after the customer's customer. If you can look after customer's customer, right, by default, you're looking after your customer.
Yeah,
Right.
which
Because
for
they
us
are
the stores.
Yeah,
that's right.
The stores, in a way,
Stores are not our customers.
Yeah, but we treat them as a customer.
But we treat them
That's
like
it.
they're our customer.
Yeah. But they're the reasons why.
And look,
some
the
should,
bigger
right?
you get, you
Plus,
do.
what we're doing for, we do, I'd say we do quite a lot for industry, right? We, like I said, we're pretty flexible in regards to where we deliver, right? And we're always open to helping people, right? We have customers that, they'll be with us, they'll leave for, it's basically always a cheaper rate. It's not never a better service, right? They'll leave for a cheaper rate, but, that comes at a service level for them, right?
And here's the
they'll
thing
come
with
back
that.
in a week, right? Or they say, okay,
Yep.
help us out, and we do. We
Okay,
don't just
here's the
turn
thing with that.
Right.
That's something that
Which,
you've taught. That's something you've
I don't. And
always
most
taught
other
me.
people say, "No, you've made a decision to leave me, right?"
No.
You just
One
suffer
quote.
and deal
I'm
with them.
not sure if it's your quote, but it's always the "never burn your bridges" aspect.
Yeah.
That's always stuck with me because people might burn you over. They might do you wrong, but as long as you keep level headed, you're straight. They come back, then you have that business with them again. That never burning your bridges has just. That's
Look,
something that's stuck with me.
unless they don't pay you $800.
Hey, if they don't pay
$877. No. Okay.
Then you burn the house.
Here's the thing. When a new customer comes over to us, right? It's like, and you say to them, how are you finding after a couple of weeks? How are you finding everything? And they say, oh, we can't believe how good it is with you guys. Things that we have to try and we couldn't get answers out of our last transport company. You guys are offering it to us before we even ask, because we keep that communication going with our customers. And they in a way are sort of like overwhelmed at how good we transition them and seamlessly get their products delivered. But what happens is they then get accustomed to it and they forget how bad the other people were, right? So then we become the new norm. We're not all of a sudden up here. We're just in the middle.
What's
right?
that prophet quote you said?
Which one?
A prophet's never recognised in its own town. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's it. They get too familiar with the service you provide.
I thought you meant the one where the guy doing push-ups in the field, not necessarily athlete. Is that the one?
No.
No.
It's not a problem.
Okay, so yeah. So I've lost my train of thought.
The service we provide, because it's immaculate, because it's good. People who come on board.
So we now have they just everything that we offer and what they can do, now becomes the new norm. So then, as Jack said before, things happen. A truck will break down or something will happen, and a customer's not happy about it. And at the end of the day, you're only as good as your last delivery, right? So they'll say, oh, this is no good. We'll go somewhere else. So they go somewhere else, and that's when they realise what we actually do for them, behind the scenes. And we don't even tell our customers half the things we actually do of the issues that come up day to day. That it's not in our control. It's got nothing to do with us, but we fix up issues that really stem from them.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the first show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to know more about us, please check out the links below and subscribe. Hope to see you in the next one.
Hit him with a front double bar.
Boom! I trust it.